Hey guys, it's Trek, and it's time for a long overdue review on this. I've been recommended to make a video review on the Buzzbee or Air Warriors Ultratech Sentinel. Here's the Buzzbee logo down here, and immediately I am reminded of a Slingfire. It comes with an 8-dart clipazine and what appear to be 8 suction cup darts that remind me a lot of elite style suction cup darts. Now, I don't have any of my regular gear, but that's no big deal, as up in Ohio, Vlad has loaned me his knife. And so I should be able to free this no problemo. We can get inside. So blaster reminds me a lot of a Slingfire. Plastic has that very typical, I guess, Buzzbee kind of feel to it, and that the plastic feels kind of cheap, but the I mean, that's a perfect example. Like, these pieces don't necessarily fit well together. This might be storage in the stock. That's happened before in Buzzbee blasters, and sure enough, like, that's not storage, it's just a window into the internal. So usual kind of cheap-ish Buzzbee construction, but Magwell is a you'll be able to hear this. It's made of some kind of metal, which is completely unusual. I think that that's just fascinating that the blaster has that feature or that level of durability in some of its parts, and then the cheapness of the plastic somewhere else. So if we flip this over, claiming ranges of up to 72 feet. I can't tell if that's just to, like, dig at Hasbro with something that's a higher range claim, or if it's actually getting that kind of performance. But the operation is exactly like a Slingfire, so I should be able to load it up very quickly. I'm going to do that right now. These are, of course, some kind of long distance darts, which is, I assume, the new Buzzbee equivalent to elite darts. But let's take this clipazine out, load it up, and do a firing demo real quick. See how this performs, if it can live up to the very hefty 72 dart or 72 foot range claims. So I wanted to take a moment and talk about the overall dart build here. These are high quality darts coming out of Buzzbee. At least the build quality of them is fine. I haven't fired them yet, but compared to a Koosh dart, they are almost identically in length and foam density and caliber, so that's solid. And then, of course, the consistency of them was notably better, but I went ahead and loaded up a Nerf In-Strike magazine with some Koosh darts, and I wanted to do a dart comparison here, and we'll go ahead and load the 8th of these in, come over, grab our Sentinel, and prime it. I guess metal priming bar isn't great for the cold, but you can't have everything. The durability of that is just awesome. This blaster is fun to play with. So then, of course, that's in, and then release. It's kind of a stiff release, definitely not a gravity release like we're used to, but I mean, it's snug in there, which is exactly what we want. This may or may not be a jam door. I don't think so. I think this is just another separate piece of plastic. If I wanted to pop it off, I could, but certainly not something that is intended. So priming back, it's just a heavy chambering motion. Okay, so instantly the stock is way too short. It's very snug shouldering. It's not the end of the world, but it's not the most comfortable. Let's see. Performance over everything. Huh. Guys, this blaster was $13. I have no idea what's happening here. It's getting modified In-Strike performance out of the box. Do I have, like, what's the reverse of a lemon? An orange? You heard it here first. Reverse lemons or orange. Reverse lemons or oranges. This is insane. Ranges are easily 70 feet flat without an angle. That's still a little wonky. Oh my gosh. I mean, the Slingfire isn't a bad blaster, but this is solid. Alright, so here's the real question, is if you're an in-strike warrior, is it cross-compatible? Oh my gosh. It's a little wonky at first, but I think I had it chambered for a second there. Yes, okay, maybe. What does an angled shot even look like? I don't know. I mean, what do you say about that? I jokingly said performance over everything, and it's doing exactly that. So I assume that these elite style darts will be compatible in the Busby Sentinel Clipazine. Oh wow. This blaster is a lot of fun to use. This is a very solid piece. The cheapness of the plastic you get over pretty quickly. The overall compactness of the blaster isn't that big of a deal. I would definitely like do some, I don't know, I must mod with this blaster. I've never been this excited to do an integration with something as I have been with the Busby Sentinel. Oh my gosh, I just never would have guessed that this was a decent blaster, much less an excellent blaster. Huge thumbs up from the channel. Definitely well worth picking one of these up. I'll try and find an Amazon link to these and put them in the description box below, but I wish I'd gotten to this before I did my best blaster of 2015 poll, because this is a contender. This is a very serious, very cool blaster at a price point that just is impossible to chuckle at. Again, like $13 for something that performs better than your average elite blaster is pretty ridiculous. I can't wait to chuck this open and see what the internals look like, because I imagine it's just a Slingfire, but it sounds like there's some metal gears wrapping around in there. It might just be the teeth on the priming bar itself, but just a solid blaster for the price point. You could afford to I guess, even if you don't believe me, you should go out and pick one of these up just to prove me wrong and then be pleasantly surprised yourself. I think that this is a great blaster. I don't know what else to say about it. Thanks for watching.